What's going on, guys, and welcome back. I was blown away with the support you guys gave on the last movie video where I ranked every live-action Spider-Man movie. So this video will be a continuation of that concept, because today I'm going to be ranking every live-action Batman movie. There are a couple of rules I have for the ranking to be considered for this list. Batman has to be obviously the main character and focus of the movie, so movies like Justice League and the new Flash movie will not be considered for the ranking because he is not, quote-unquote, the main character of the movie. So with that in mind, there are 10 movies in consideration for the ranking, so let's dive right in with number 10. It'll probably be pretty obvious which one's number 10. At number 10, no surprise, it's Batman and Robin. Joel Schumacher's sad attempt at making a Batman movie is widely regarded as the worst Batman movie ever made, and I agree with that 100%. George Clooney has no idea how to play Batman, and it is obvious. The bat nipples always make me laugh because of their stupidity. Arnold Schwarzenegger is nearly impossible to understand as Mr. Freeze, and I feel like he's never seen, read, or watched anything with that character in it, so he has no idea what he's doing. Bane is turned from someone on Batman's physical and intellectual level to a mindless brute that isn't even worth a fight scene. Finally, the story is so contrived that I can't even watch this movie just to laugh at it. It's just horrible to watch from start to finish, and I probably will never watch it again. Easiest last place choice I've ever had for one of these videos. At number 9 is Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. The only Ben Affleck Batman movie that was eligible for my list, and it doesn't give a very good performance. My major issue with this movie is the fact that it seems to be telling two different stories that they had to push into one for the sake of they didn't want to give Ben Affleck any more than one standalone Batman movie, and even then they had to add Superman to it. How little does DC trust Ben Affleck? I feel like he actually is an okay Batman. The first half of the movie is the conflict between Batman and Superman, which not super original. I do kind of enjoy, but the ending, I don't really love of that. The second half of the movie is absolutely abysmal. Somehow they put their differences aside, Batman and Superman, that they've been fighting over for this entire movie, to fight Doomsday and Lex Luthor. And if it wasn't for Batman and Robin, this would easily be a last place choice. But Batman and Robin does exist, so this comes in at the number 9 spot. At number 8 is Batman Forever. Joel Schumacher's first Batman movie was definitely better than the second one, but not by much. Val Kilmer is probably the worst Batman ever in my opinion. He has the physicality for the role, but none of the mental ability. The villains are not much better. It seems like Tommy Lee Jones and Jim Carrey are in a contest to see who can have the campiest villain, and it drives me crazy every single time I watch the movie, because I actually enjoy the Riddler and Two-Face as Batman villains, and I feel like they're not done justice here. Honestly, a swing and a miss for Joel Schumacher's 2 Batman movies. Disappointing because there was promise and opportunity for him to make good Batman movies, but we were disappointed. So Joel Schumacher's Batman Forever comes in at a not so solid number 8. At number 8 is Batman the Movie. The first live-action Batman movie has a lot of positives, but also a good amount of negatives. This is the movie that gets its rating hurt the most by my dislike of campy Batman movies. In my opinion, Batman should be dark and brooding with psychotic murderers for villains, not slapstick comedy. But if that's your thing, then you'd probably enjoy this movie a lot more than I did. But I don't enjoy it, so it hurts. My opinion on that hurts this movie's rating quite a lot. If this was any other superhero and you didn't call it Batman, it'd probably be a pretty funny movie and I would have enjoyed it. But since it was Batman and knowing what comes after it, I just can't in good faith give this anything higher than it was. I have no real problems with it other than its campiness.
To challenge the most cataclysmic collection of super criminals ever.
At number 6 is Batman The Dark Knight Rises. The third Nolan Batman adventure is the weakest in my opinion. Coming off the best superhero movie of all time in The Dark Knight, spoilers, this movie was always going to struggle. But looking at this movie as its own, it's pretty good. I think this is the best Bane in any of the movies. He's a physical and intellectual threat for Batman in this movie, which I find much better than the previous Bane. I like Catwoman in this movie, and I love to see how Bruce acts after shutting himself off from the world after the events of the last movie. Though the third act of the movie does feel rushed, so that's not great. Talia being the bad guy was very obvious from the start, and her death scene has to be the worst thing I have ever seen. But other than that, I liked the general plot of it. Just remove Talia and just have Bane be the main bad guy. I think it's pretty good. The prison scene is really good. I just wish Heath Ledger was still alive to have had Joker cameo in this, because that was the original plan for him to cameo, which would have pushed this up probably even higher than like Batman Begins. But since not, this movie falls in at a solid number 6. At number 5 is Batman Returns. The second Burton Batman movie goes dark. I asked for darkness in my review of Adam West Batman, but I think this one goes a little bit too far. I know some people really like Danny DeVito as Penguin, but I do not. I think it's just, really don't like it at all. It's just weird and annoying. I do like Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman, and her feud with Christopher Walken's character, which was a completely new character made up for the movie, is fresh and new. Michael Keaton is probably my second or third favorite Batman behind Christian Bale, and probably maybe Robert Pattinson, depending on how the future goes with that. So, I enjoyed this movie overall, but it's not my favorite. So, a solid number 5 rating, dead in the middle. No real gripes with it, but it doesn't blow me away in any way. At number 4 is Batman Begins. The first Nolan Batman was a breath of fresh air after the last few shitty Batman movies of the 90s. I loved this fresh look at the origins of Batman and his allies, his training with Ra's al Ghul, and the reveal of Ra's al Ghul as the villain, though a little underwhelming, I thought was done really well. The weakest part of this movie has to be its villains. Scarecrow and Ra's weren't the best villains. Nolan could have used, but they were the ones we got. I feel like Cillian Murphy does have a good performance as Scarecrow. It's just a little bit small scale. Overall, a good movie, and my second favorite of the Nolan Batman movies. Solid number 4.
Things are worse than ever down here.
At number 3 is Batman 89. The first live-action Batman movie in 20 years since the Adam West adventures was a massive success. As I said in the other Keaton Batman movie, he's probably my second or third Batman. And it is mainly because of this movie. He's pretty great in this movie. I think he's a good Bruce Wayne, and I think he's a really good Batman, and I enjoy the action and all that in this. I think he does a really good job. Jack Nicholson's Joker is also my second favorite live-action Joker, behind the man, the myth, the legend, Heath Ledger. This movie was also very enjoyable from start to finish, all around a very solid Batman movie, and I think this is one I will be rewatching in the future for many years to come. Number 3, Batman 89. In second place is The Batman. In any other characters' movies ranking, this probably would have come in at number 1, but Batman having The Dark Knight standing over it as the greatest superhero movie ever created really holds this one back. But other than that, I think this is probably the best Batman movie ever created. It's the most recent one, so I have to see how it plays out more in future movies with Robert Pattinson. He really surprised me and could become one of my favorite Batman ever. I just need to see a couple more movies with him before I can place him among my all-time favorites. The villains in this movie also bring their A game. The new take on the Riddler is absolutely incredible. So much better than Jim Carrey's Riddler. Another solid Batman movie. And if it wasn't for The Dark Knight, it would definitely be number one by far. But you all know what number one is.
It won't be long before you.
Number one, bar none, is Batman The Dark Knight. Christian Bale is the best Batman, Heath Ledger is the best Joker, Christopher Nolan is the best director, and so many more bests, from Alfred to Gordon to everyone. This is just the best Batman movie by far, and it's just nothing will ever stand up to it, in my opinion. It's the greatest superhero movie ever. Very few movies even come close. Only two, in my opinion, passed it.
This is Harvey
So, I mean,
Dent.
it was never in question. This was always
certainly
going to be
hope
number
not.
one. I hope you enjoyed the video. Batman's probably my favorite superhero and comic book hero of all time. So, I mean, I really put some effort into this video, so I hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for next week, where I rank every animated Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle show. Have a good day.